Okay, we'll go ahead and call tonight's meeting to order. If able, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Mayor Pate.
Here.
Councilmember Shavetta.
Here.
Okay, thank you. Councilmember Kozmeyer.
Here.
Councilmember Hands.
Here.
Councilmember Caldwell.
Here.
Councilmember Leahy.
Here.
Councilmember Ryder.
Here.
Councilmember Silvers.
Here.
Councilmember Yodridge.
Here.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Thank you, Anna. Okay, next item up is public items. Members of the public are encouraged to use this time to make comments about matters that do not appear on the agenda. Comments about items on the regular agenda will be taken up as each item is considered. Please note individuals making public comments will be limited to 5 minutes. We did have a sign-up sheet, which no one signed up for, but is there anyone in the audience that would like to come forward at this time? Okay, nobody's rushing the podium, so we will close out the public item portion of that. Next item up is the consent agenda, and all items listed under this heading are considered to be routine by the City Council, may be enacted by one motion. There'll be no separate discussion of these items unless the council member so requests, in which case that item will be removed from the consent agenda and considered separately. We do have 2 items this evening. Does any council member wish to have one of them removed? Okay, I see nobody wanting to have anything removed. I would entertain a motion. Okay, Mr. Silvers.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to move that the council approve consent agendas item number 1 and 2.
Thank you. Ms. Yodridge.
Mr. Mayor, second.
Madam Clerk, we have a motion and a second.
Councilmember Shavetta.
Aye.
Councilmember Kozmeyer.
Aye.
Councilmember Hands.
Aye.
Councilmember Caldwell.
Aye.
Councilmember Leahy.
Aye.
Councilmember Ryder.
Aye.
Councilmember Silvers.
Aye.
Councilmember Yodridge.
Aye.
Motion passes 8-0.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Next item up is the mayor's report, and this evening we have a proclamation that I would like to read. Whereas, during Black History Month, we celebrate many achievements and contributions made by African Americans and recognize their central role in U.S. history. And whereas, Black History Month evolved out of Carter G. Woodson's idea for Negro History Week, which started in 1926 to promote African American history, culture, and achievements. And whereas the observance of Black History Month calls our attention to the continued need to battle racism and build a society that upholds its democratic ideals. And whereas the 2025 national theme for the observance is African Americans and Labor, which highlights the significant role Black people have played in the workforce throughout history, from slavery to modern-day leadership positions in various industries. And whereas the City of Merriam will join the nation in honoring African Americans and highlighting the workforce contributions to our city, and whereas the City of Merriam is proud of its Black history, which includes a school desegregation lawsuit, a precursor to Brown versus the Board of Education versus Topeka. Now, therefore, I, Bob Pate, by the virtue of the authority vested in me as the mayor of Merriam, Kansas, do hereby proclaim February 2025 as Black History Month, proclaimed on the 10th day of February 2025. Salute goes out to all of those individuals in our community. Okay, other items, I always like to list a few things that have occurred. Some of this I wrote by hand, so we'll see how well I read my own handwriting. Okay, I and several staff attended the Kansas Park and Recreation Association Conference in Manhattan, Kansas. Director Slocum received the 2025 Administration Branch Award. Congratulations to her. And her department, our Park and Rec Department, received the 2025 Outstanding Recreation Program for the Taylor Swift Pop-Up Award. And then I received actually a 2025 Distinguished Elected Official Award for my promoting Parks and Recs. And although I'm honored to have received that award, we all know it's her department that does all the great programs. And thank you to your staff, Anna, for everything that they've done. Please pass on our wishes and thank yous for them, and congratulations for your department winning that award. Okay, I also got to meet with the Northeast Chamber of Commerce leadership class, giving them a short presentation on the history of Merriam. We have 2 employees currently enrolled in the Northeast leadership class, Jasmine Boutros and Cole Serber. Our congratulations to them for taking that. They are part of the future leaders in our community and our city that are honing the skills to take over the reins in a later date. Okay, I and council member met with Mr. Engel to prepare tonight's agenda. I and several staff and a council member met with our state legislators and staff in Topeka to discuss what's important to us in Merriam and what's happening at the state level that with the pending legislation that might affect us. Council member and I attended the Northeast Chamber ribbon cutting that occurred at Inspire Play Cafe, which is located down at Merriam Town Center. Please go by there and take a look at that. It's actually 5640 Antioch, if you want to know the exact address. But I met with Commissioner Kelly and numerous Johnson County mayors to discuss the 2026 FIFA games that will be hosted in our metro area. There'll be many more meetings as we look at all the things that need to be done to put on an event of this magnitude in our metro area. I and several council attended our Merriam City Employees Luncheon event. Always good to break bread with the staff. I and a council member met with others at Northeast Chamber of Commerce events, hosted Georgetown Apartments, done some major renovations over there, our apartment complex, and we got to take a tour, which was very nice. I and a council member attended the Tim Murphy Art Gallery opening night. That's always nice to, and Anna always cooks for us, so that's good too. But I and several council members and numerous staff met at City Hall and took a Chiefs pick to cheer them on for the Super Bowl. I know it didn't turn out quite like we wanted it to, but we do have to give them props for at least getting to the Super Bowl for three years in a row. There's always next year. So, and a council member attended the Stony Bogan retirement celebration. And of course, for those of you that know Stony, he had worked for the Chamber of Commerce, Northeast Chamber of Commerce, and he's still going to live here in Merriam, so he is a Merriam resident. Several council members attended, and staff, I might say, attended the National Hot Chocolate Day. I don't know why we didn't have a proclamation for that, but I'm guessing it was really good. I missed that one. Did I miss anything from any other council members? That quite a bit goes on besides just this council meeting. So that concludes my mayor's report. Okay, it looks like the next item up would be a resolution, council items, a resolution adopting the region hazardous mitigation plan. And we got our police chief is at the podium.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. What you have before you is a resolution adopting the hazardous mitigation plan. We did this 5 years ago in 2020. Basically, we are required, Johnson County and then all the agencies within Johnson County are required to adopt a hazardous mitigation plan so that we can be eligible for FEMA funds in case we have a issue. This plan was developed in 2023 and 2024. Again, it's basically the same plan that was in 2025 with some changes. And it was adopted by the Board of County Commissioners in 2024, as now as part where we're required, all the cities are required to adopt the same plan this year by resolution. I can answer any questions if you have any.
Okay, we have any questions for the chief? Okay, I see no questions for the chief. We do need to adopt it. I would entertain a motion. Okay, Ms. Hands, go ahead.
Mr. Mayor, I move that the council approve a resolution adopting the Region L Hazardous Mitigation Plan.
Okay, I have a motion. Do I have a second? Ms. Shadrich.
Mr. Mayor, second.
Okay, Madam Clerk, we have a motion and a second.
Councilmember Cosmeyer,
Aye.
Councilmember Hands,
Aye.
Councilmember Caldwell,
Aye.
Councilmember Leahy,
Aye.
Councilmember Ryder,
Aye.
Councilmember Silvers,
Aye.
Councilmember Yodridge,
Aye.
Councilmember Shavetta.
Aye.
Motion passes 8-0.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Looks like the next item up is consider approval of an ordinance authorizing the sale, and I'll just let Director Slocum tell us the rest of this.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Before you this evening is an ordinance for the sale, consumption, and possession of alcoholic liquor for two of our events, Merriam Drive Live and new this year, Merriam's 75th birthday party. The reason we need to bring this ordinance forward is because we don't want to confine alcohol to one specific area. We want them to be able to cross the street and move within the area of the event. The area is outlined again in Exhibit A and is the same area that we have used the last several years when we've brought this item forward. The only difference this year is we are asking to extend this area for the 75th birthday party later in October of this year. So basically, as you can see, it's the same. So any questions in regards to the ordinance? I'm asking that you consider waiving the first reading on this ordinance as well.
Do we have any questions for Dr. Slocum? Okay, I see no questions. Are we interested in waiving? I would entertain a motion. Okay, go ahead, Ms. Aldridge.
Mr. Mayor, I move that the council waive the customary first reading of an ordinance authorizing the sale, consumption, and possession of alcoholic liquor during the Merriam Drive Live event and Merriam's 75th birthday.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second? Go. Yes, please go ahead.
Mr. Mayor, I'll second.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second.
Councilmember Hands.
Aye.
Councilmember Caldwell.
Aye.
Councilmember Leahy.
Aye.
Councilmember Ryder.
Aye.
Councilmember Silvers.
Aye.
Councilmember Yodridge.
Aye.
Councilmember Shavetta.
Aye.
Councilmember Kozmeyer.
Aye.
Motion passes 8-0.
Okay, if that was for waiving, Ms. Shvedder, would you like to make the motion for
Sure.
it? Go ahead.
I move that the council approve an ordinance authorizing the sale, consumption, and possession of alcoholic liquor during the Merriam Drive Live event and Merriam's 75th birthday.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second? Ms. Aldridge.
Mr. Mayor, second.
Okay, Madam Clerk, we have a motion and a second.
Councilmember Caldwell.
Aye.
Councilmember Leahy.
Aye.
Councilmember Ryder.
Aye.
Councilmember Silvers.
Aye.
Councilmember Yodridge.
Aye.
Councilmember Shavetta.
Aye.
Councilmember Kozmeyer.
Aye.
Councilmember Hands.
Aye.
Motion passes 8-0.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Okay, it looks like, next item up is, my computer is kind of acting up here, but consider a payment of $250,000 to the U.S. No, we got one more. It blanked out, and I'm trying to get my screen back. Consider approval of waiving of the way caterers fee. That's the next one. We have Director Slocum still at the podium. Please advise us of what this one's about, Director Slocum.
So now that you've approved the ordinance that will allow us to open up the serving of alcohol, you now need to give us permission to actually serve alcohol at 3 of our events. This is something that we did beginning in 2016, which allows you all to waive the fee associated with our caterer's license so that our caterer doesn't have to pay the $500 fee associated with serving alcohol in Merriam. It's only for city-sponsored events. We are proposing 3 events to serve alcohol at this year: Concert in the Courtyard and MDL, the new one being the birthday party for this year. So I'm asking for permission to serve alcohol at those events and waive the fee.
Any questions for Director Slocum concerning this item? Okay, I see no questions. I would entertain a motion. Go ahead, Ms. Aldridge.
Mr. Mayor, I move that the council approve the serving of alcohol at 3 events and waive the caterer's license fee for Concert in the Courtyard, Merriam Drive Live, and Merriam's 75th birthday.
We have a motion. Do we have a second? This way. Okay, Ms. Hanson.
Yes, and I'll second that.
Madam Clerk, we have a motion. Second.
Councilmember Leahy.
Aye.
Councilmember Ryder.
Aye.
Councilmember Silvers.
Aye.
Councilmember Yodridge.
Aye.
Councilmember Shavetta.
Aye.
Councilmember Kozmeyer.
Aye.
Councilmember Hands.
Aye.
Councilmember Caldwell.
Aye.
Motion passes 8-0.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Now I think we're up to consider payment of $250,000. Okay, Mr. Engel, come to the podium.
Thank you, Mayor, Council. Next item on your agenda relates to the Upper Turkey Creek project. If you will recall, in December, you authorized a $200 payment for our fiscal year 25 work that we are completing with the Corps on the engineering for that project. Starting back in 2022, we signed a design agreement with the Corps that every year there would be a shared payment for the work that's done that year, and every January we've brought forward an invoice. What's different this year is that we paid the first half of it because we believed that was going to be sufficient. The total projected cost is still $1.6 million worth of work. We just did not anticipate we would need it all at the beginning of the year, so we only were invoiced for the first $300,000 in December. This would be the second payment for $250,000, but again, it has not increased the workload. It's just the bids came in high for the work that they wanted to do in the first quarter, and so we need some additional funds because they have a requirement that they have to have the funds encumbered in order to actually do the work. So again, it's not a change of scope. Nothing's changed since December. If we would have known it was going to cost this much, I would have waited till now to bring it forward to you and would have asked for all of it at once, but that's not how it worked out. But happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Any questions, Mr. Engel? Go ahead, Mr. Silver. Questions? Mr. Cosmeyer, do you have a question?
Yeah. So this includes the entire local portion, and so the amount that we're getting reimbursed from Johnson County is going to cover some of this $550,000.
Yes, sir. So the Fed, so $1.6 million is split 65% federal, 35% local, and we are the local sponsor, so we are the lead. We have our partners at the county that have agreed through the SMAC, Stormwater Management. They're going to pay 75% of that 35%. Okay. So yes, so we will pay the full $250,000 if you approve it tonight. Then we will seek reimbursement. We're actually holding off the reimbursement from the December payment so we can send them one invoice. But yes, we will seek reimbursement at 75% of this amount.
And then how long does it usually take for Johnson County to reimburse local or the municipalities?
They're pretty quick because they've already encumbered those funds because they know that they were coming. So it's already part of their budgeted process. So I mean, we would get them within a month.
Okay, great.
Mr. Silvers, you have a question?
This question is actually just for public record. At the start of your statement, you said in the fall we voted for a $250.
$250,000.
Right. I just wanted to clarify that for the public record. So $250,000.
Gotcha.
Thank you. Go ahead, Mr. Kuzma.
Yeah. And then so this total amount of money that we're spending this year takes us through that 35% design?
It should, yes. Okay. It should. We have asked them to complete some additional work to help the council make their decision when they need to make their decision. Some of this will go towards that. We anticipate this will be the last of the funding that we need before we need to make that decision at 35%.
Great.
Yes.
Thanks.
Any other questions, Mr. Engel? Okay, I see no additional questions. I would entertain a motion for payment of this expense. Ms. Hands.
Mr. Mayor, I move that the council approve the payment of $250,000 to the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers to further the engineering and design of the Upper Turkey Creek Stormwater Project.
Okay, Mr. Kuzma.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to second.
Okay, Madam Clerk, we have a motion and a second.
Councilmember Ryder.
Aye.
Councilmember Silvers.
Aye.
Councilmember Yodrich.
Aye.
Councilmember Shavetta.
Aye.
Councilmember Kosmeyer.
Aye.
Councilmember Hands.
Aye.
Councilmember Caldwell.
Aye.
Councilmember Leahy.
Aye.
Motion passes 8-0.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Looks like next item up would be staff information items for the February CIP update.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. The February CIP update's in your packet. I know there's been questions about the 75th Street Bridge. We did have a kickoff meeting, and Pyramid is in the process of design. It should be completed by mid-April. They'll come back with two options. One is to close the bridge and the time period and the cost, and then the other is to keep it open and how much that'll cost. And then once the governing bodies meet and we make a decision on that, hopefully they can start construction while school's out is the plan. It just depends on how long it'll take. But that's the plan right now. So I'll keep you updated on that.
Anything else?
Do you have any questions on any other item?
Any questions for Director Company? Okay, no, I see no questions.
Thank you.
Thank you for the update. Next item up is our semi-monthly single hauler update. We have Ms. Card. at the
Yes,
podium.
good evening. I really don't have any updates since our last meeting. We are still progressing the bid. The RFP is still out to bid. The closing for that is on this Friday. We haven't received any bids to this point, but we did have a mandatory pre-bid meeting in which we had 7 haulers show up to. So hopefully we'll get some good bids coming in later this week. Once we get those bids in, we will have a work group meeting later this month, and then we will decide from there, kind of depending on what the bids look like, what recommendations we're going to make to the council. And then in March, we will have a work session following a city council meeting so we can comprehensively go over all of the details to date, including all the bids and the information. Other than that, I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions for Ms. Gard? I see no questions. Good update. Okay. Then informational item, and we had Park and Rec Advisory Board minutes were in our packets. Does anybody have any questions for Director Slocum? No? Oh my gosh, we're just rolling through this. I don't know if this is a record or not, but we're doing pretty good here. Will we, if we quit talking? Okay. Mr. Engel,
27 minutes is the record since I've
27?
been here, since 2019.
we can do it.
Yeah.
Mr. Engel, we got anything from staff, from you?
Yeah, I'm gonna do like a mayor's report, tell you everything I've done for the last 2 years.
Oh, please,
Okay,
carry on.
Have we got any
Carry
questions
on.
for Mr. Engel now? Is that-
Only item I have is
Item
goal-
number 1.
Objectives are due on Friday. Again, we're not looking for anything additional to add, but we have heard from a couple council members, just as a reminder. Those are your opportunity to give us some feedback of things that you'd like us to place in the budget for funding priorities for next year. So they don't have to be pretty, just send us ideas and we will help put skin on the bone. But again, not asking for anything more, but just wanted to make sure I said that deadline's Friday. Other than that, I'm happy to answer any questions
Any questions, Mr.
or talk
Engel?
for 3 more minutes.
We're going for the record. Any questions? Okay, no questions. And we have no executive session or anything this evening?
Unless you want to.
No, I don't think I do. I'm good. We're all good. I would entertain a motion for adjournment. Go ahead, Ms. Yodrich.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we adjourn.
Do I have a second?
I'll second
Okay,
that.
Ms. Hans, Madam Clerk.
All in favor, quickly.
Aye.
Meeting's adjourned.